Craft Brews and Casual Conversations. My name is Hans. I'm from Germany. And my friend Drew, well, the man is about to tie the knot. And my friend Rob over here, how you doing, Robert?
Good. I'm surprised that it's German. I would have thought Swiss or the other S country.
I like to remain, mysterious. And I've been very well traveled. And I talk differently sometimes. And my name is Hans. I'm your designated driver anytime you get drunk. Remember that? Remember?
That's right. Okay.
I'm Hans. And
holy shit, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
How have you been?
I'm doing okay. I was hired for a job. This is the last day that Drew will be quote unquote single.
That's true.
Are you ready for that, Robert? You ready to walk down the aisle with Drew and
no, I'm not
like
ready.
in hand, but you'll be to his side.
I will be to the side.
You'll be there and
crying.
Crying?
Yeah.
Why would you be crying?
Because it's the last day Drew will be single. I know I have no shot now.
Well, that's okay. We'll figure it out for you. We'll get you single women up in the on the dance floor, and you'll dance and do perfect thrusts. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We drinking a blonde ale because Rob likes blonde people, right?
That's 1/3 of that's 1/3 of them.
Great. Dudes with brews.
Cue it.
You're about to hear the greatest show of your life.
Dude.
Dudes with brews on a porch with Rob and Drew.
Rob, Hans is back. Wait, he's chilling out in the car now.
I'm so bad with people that I forgot about Hans.
How can you forget about Hans? Maybe it's because you're always drunk when you see Hans.
Hans. His accent throws me off because I don't feel like that's German. I feel like he's lying to me.
I don't know what it is. Hans is full of mystery. And,
he is, yeah.
It's hard to...
That's why the ladies love him.
The ladies love him. We're drinking 1869 from Fifth Ward. It is a blonde ale. 5% on the ABVs, 8 on the IBUs. It's brewed in collaboration with the Oshkosh, Wisconsin Yacht Club to celebrate their 150th anniversary. Light, crushable, and tastes like beer.
Yeah.
What do you say?
It never stops bubbling.
It doesn't stop bubbling. The bubbles continue.
I mean, I think we could run a country off the energy of these bubbles. This is insane.
This tastes like this is like a beer that you drink in high school. You know what I mean? Like this is like a first taste of the first beer in high school that defines the rest of your life. I feel like.
I can taste that. That's crazy. That's what I mean? That's a good summing up of what this tastes like.
Like you're walking into a party for the first time, you just got invited. Fucking Stacy over in science class is over in the corner and you're like, today's the time. Hook me up with a beer. They give you this and you drink it and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Crisp, delicious. I'm ready for it. And you get up the nerve. You have a couple of these beers. You get up the nerve to go in that corner. You go, Stacy, I think you're the bee's knees. I think you're the cat's pajamas. And they say, and she goes, I agreed. You also are the cat's pajamas. And you say, how about we have a sleepover, Stacy? She goes, oh, yeah. And then you just start smooching and necking hardcore.
Man,
but that's all that it goes.
You had a totally different experience with your first party than I did.
Honestly,
I feel like I got cut off by Zeke, who never said a word to me but was drunk now, and then I vomited on the bathroom door.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did that really happen? A guy named Zeke?
I'm going to leave that alone.
That's a very specific name. That's just not a name you reach out for.
If it did really happen, I definitely asked for a towel and cleaned up my own vomit.
That's great. I really can't remember the first time I ever had. I can remember like the early parts of the parties that I went to.
Were you a blackout drinker?
No.
Or were you
Your
a
brother was.
passer outer? Yeah, he definitely still can be.
I was very reserved when it came to drinking. I didn't drink a lot while my friends drank a lot, and I just kind of stuck to the side. I would sip a little bit here and there, and kind of just be like, yeah, this isn't my thing, and then eventually I got drunk for the first time, and it was fun. I was a young lad, and now I don't really drink to get drunk now, but I enjoy the taste. But yeah, one of the first like really party experiences with drinking, I had one of a kissing sesh, you could say, with one of your brother's long-term relationships, and I asked her to homecoming, and she agreed to be my date for homecoming, and then she stood me up.
Lame.
You know who I'm talking about?
I have two. I've narrowed it down to two people.
It was one of Ryan's long-term
First or second?
Not the current one, but the last one.
Okay.
The current.
Oh, you don't consider the first one to be a long-term?
You're talking about Kylie?
Maybe.
No, she wasn't. No,
I
it was
don't know.
the main one in high school.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, she stood me up,
It must have been awkward when you had
and then
to
she
see
started
her.
dating one of my best friends.
Yeah.
What a rude thing to do.
That's just bad planning.
It is bad planning, and they dated for a long time.
Did you ever walk up to her and go like, "Homecoming 2007, what up?"
Ryan knew about it.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
And he would give her some grief every once in a while, but yeah, who does that? It was like my freshman or sophomore year in high school. You stand somebody up, that that really kills somebody. That impacts their self-esteem.
I don't think I've ever been stood up.
I have twice.
I've been dumped a lot.
I've been stood up, and I think it's maybe worse than getting dumped. Because you like when you get stood up, it's not even, you don't even have the opportunity to get dumped. It's like a pre-dump dump.
Yeah, that's true.
A girl one time.
But denial's a strong thing, and if you get stood up, you can always go like, maybe she's sick.
I got stood up at a movie theater. A person agreed to go to a movie with me, and she like.
Okay, Drew.
Huh?
Did you watch the movie?
No, I left.
I'm disappointed.
I should have.
I would have loved to have heard you go, best movie I ever saw.
No, it wasn't. But yeah, literally, she initiated it too, and again, we met at a party and stuff like that, and then she wanted to go. She agreed to go to see a movie.
Did you ever talk to her about it? Did you ever go, what prompted you to not show up?
I didn't. But she talked to somebody that I worked with about it one time and said that she felt really bad. And I'm just like, well,
I just made a face for all you people out there.
All you had to do was say, like,
I don't care if you
my mind.
Yeah, you felt bad. Call me.
Right. Or send me
Call
a
my
text.
parents' house.
I'm not coming.
Oh, you had I
had a cell phone.
Okay, yeah, that's right. I didn't have a back in high school. It wasn't until like junior year that I got a cell phone. But
it was rough, man.
Because I remember I got dumped by my first girlfriend, and it took a little while before I actually talked to her about it. And she was like, "Well, you called me a bitch," and I was like, "No, I was calling the chick behind you a bitch."
Oh, really?
And that was the truth. And she was like, "Well, it's just the fact that you would call a woman a bitch. I would have dumped you anyway." And I was like, "Okay, that's
really?
fair." Yeah.
But like,
she went on to be valedictorian.
You didn't mean it to be like in a derogatory sense, though.
Person.
Some people are just bitches.
No, the person behind her was being a bitch.
Yeah.
She was being straight up like, if it was a dude, I would have said, "You're a fucking asshole."
Right.
It was equality in action.
Yeah.
If I would have said nothing, I would have been being sexist, reverse sexist.
You want to talk more about being dumped? So I remember,
Yeah, let's go through it. Let's talk about this stuff.
There was a couple breakups that were pretty hard for me. One was like I broke up with her, but I didn't want to break up with her.
Dude, I have that same thing happen.
But I knew she just didn't have. She was just such a nice person that she didn't have the ability to break my heart. So I did it for her.
Do you think she actually wanted to break up with you then?
I think she did.
See, okay, that's where we differ. I accidentally broke up with somebody in my life.
Accidentally? How do you accidentally break up with somebody?
Because it was my first real, like, okay, like...
this is the day before I'm getting married. We're talking about breakups. But go ahead.
We've opened the rabbit hole. We're down there. It doesn't matter anymore. So the girlfriend, the quote unquote girlfriend I was talking about before, that was like early on, hand holding days. That was considered, so like she thought I called her a bitch. She broke up, da. Not really a girlfriend. It was just a person I was hanging out with closer than other girls. Mm-hmm. This other girl that is my first real girlfriend.
Sure.
And she said, I love you to me after about maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
You're a lovable guy. I can see that.
So I held up.
I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you.
But I've known you more than 2 weeks. I held up for about 2 months before she broke. I don't want to say she broke me down. I broke myself down perception wise. Like whereas like in my head, I felt like every time she said "I love you" and I didn't say it back, I was breaking her heart a little bit.
Yeah.
So after a couple of months, I said "I love you." After
did you mean it?
Well, that's the thing. After like another month or month and a half, and this sounds so fucking stupid, but I was a teenager, so cut me some slack, people.
Right, right.
After another couple, like another month and a half, I started going like, I might actually have feelings for this person in that way, and I would like that to develop. So I showed up at a party, and she was already drunk, and she said I love you, and I didn't say it back. And she took that as like I thought I would be able to slide under that radar and just go, yeah, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that.
I love myself too.
But it literally went from 0 to 60 in a second, where it was like, what, don't you love me? What, are you breaking up with me? What is it? And then she started crying, and then she ran out into a thunderstorm. And I got in my car and tried to follow it. Like I tried to get her to get in the car, and I was like trying to tell her like, no, I think I might love you, and I don't, and I would love to tell you that when I comes to fruition.
Sure.
But as a teenager, emotions ran high and things went the wrong way, and then things got crazy. Like, things could have gotten better from there, but they didn't because circumstance.
I don't think there's recovering from that.
Well, she still. I think I could have recovered from that, but then I made a bunch of mistakes.
Yeah.
And she did a few things that I thought were a little suspect.
I mean, when you're a teenager, it's hard to.
I was getting shit from my family for that. Like, they when I would walk into the room, like they go, and they call it puppy love or whatever the fuck
really?
That song is. Yeah, they were giving me shit because it's like they knew it wasn't gonna last.
There's a handful of people out there that have had the one significant other, and it's one and done.
Yeah. And I, honestly, what do you think that works or that doesn't work? Because personally, I feel like a relationship is just work. There is no real soulmate necessarily. Like you become.
I don't think there's a soulmate. I don't think there's. I don't believe in soulmates.
If you can find somebody that's compatible with you,
right, for sure.
Then that's.
And then my point exactly, like my point behind that, like saying,
dude, I just spilled beer on myself.
You sure did. My thing behind saying like there's no soulmate is just
I had 3 before this.
I've been in love with other people. I really have.
You know what this means? I have to do laundry now.
I mean, you can sleep here if you want. But I've been in love with other people, with more than one person. I feel like the term soulmate is just like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I agree with you.
And that's the thing. Like I would say that girlfriend that I hesitated to, that I made that crucial mistake. Like
it's like sound like a mistake to me anymore.
I mean, it was being honest, is what it was.
Right.
I could have lied and said I love you today. Even though in my head I'm going, I might love you tomorrow. I feel like I'm going to love you tomorrow, but I don't right now. Like, the more I get to know you, the more I feel for you. Therefore, I know that what I'm not feeling right now is love.
I think it's sophisticated.
But like, I still talk to her throughout a certain period. I still tried to I still cared for her deeply.
Sure.
And I feel like I do have love for her, and I do have love for my other ex-girlfriend, where it's like in a way where I can say, I hope to God, I seriously, if there is a God, if there is any higher power, like I hope that they're happy. I'm trying to be happy, and I really hope that they found what they needed to find, and it wasn't me, and I understand why it wasn't me.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so I broke up with a girl once because she, I knew she wanted to break up with me. Yeah,
farted after.
No.
Tried to cover it with a burp, and you were like, "Just fart or burp. Don't try and cover one."
I think I've talked about this.
I know that your view on that is fucking strict.
I think I've talked about this before, but the first girl I ever said I love you to, I was a freshman in high school, and I feel like I did love her for a little bit, and then eventually I didn't. And you're young and you're stupid, and I didn't end on the most appropriate way. Apparently, she was shopping at Target when I broke up with her.
What does that matter?
But the time was now. Like, the time was like, I have to do this. I need to get it done. She was shopping at Target, and she was very upset about it. And I felt really bad about it.
What did she go like? Did you have to do it while I was shopping at Target? Some people get broken up with on their birthday.
She beat Bullseye,
like
the logo.
That I understand when somebody goes,
he's
but
dead because of her.
Yeah, because it's a week before my birthday and you broke up with me. That's an asshole move. I was shopping at Target. That's any Monday,
I guess.
Like, you don't get to go, how dare you break up with me while I was at Target?
I felt bad, man.
You're always gonna feel bad. And we shouldn't. This is a stigma with society and humanity that needs to be addressed, where it's like, I feel like there's two big ones. We all shit. And we all, and we all need to find somebody that we love. And so that means that we're going to have to go to the bathroom and we're going to have to break up with people.
Yeah.
Let's get over these things, people.
Realistically, those two individuals were the only people that I broke up with, ever. Everybody else dumped me. So the next relationship after the one that it was like a mutual breakup or whatever. So I was a sophomore in high school. We broke up, and then I got together with the person who became the mother of my daughter. She broke up with me, and then after that, it was the person who became my.
She gave you the big D.
What do you mean?
The big D papers.
The next one did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weren't you onto that one?
Yeah. So
Ashton's mom.
Yeah. So then I had, the mother of my son got married, and
Now this is one where you can go, we just bought a house.
Apparently it wasn't we. It was I just bought a house.
But she didn't let you know ahead of time. And that's kind of, that's not like being at Target. That's a whole different ball game, in my opinion, where it's like you are allowed to go, why did you let me sign? Why did you let me sign? It's like 5 minutes beforehand. You go, unless there's any reason that you can think of that we shouldn't buy this house, I'm going to sign. Go ahead and sign. Oh, yeah, by the way, I want to.
I'm not coming. By the way, you're moving in by yourself.
Yeah.
That was a bad moment. That was a bad moment.
Can you cross my income out on those forms?
She didn't sign anything. It was all me. But anyways.
Yeah. I will say, okay.
I still live in the house, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I love this house.
Yeah, and it's a great house.
I love being a homeowner.
Yeah. So, all right.
God damn it, I did it.
I'm glad that, in that sense, I'm glad that she waited. Because had she said, this is what's going to go down, you might not have bought this house.
I probably would have gotten a different one.
And you'd love that one too, maybe.
A little less expensive, probably.
So, okay, I've had 2 girlfriends.
Yep.
I've only had 3 real girlfriends in my life. But
I know 2 of the 3.
And 2 of them, I broke up with them and they said no. Have you ever had that happen?
No.
And we both, in both cases, I continued to date them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They just said, nah, that's not happening.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Don't want to do it.
In the first case, This is fucking ridiculous. I had a broken leg, so I'm
I remember that one.
I'm bedridden.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. My girlfriend at the time
She used to give me free subs from Subway.
She has a broken arm.
Oh, really?
When I broke up with her, she had a broken arm.
You're both just have broken limbs.
Yeah, you should have seen the sex. It was ridiculous. And I'm not joking about that. We had to do it a weird way.
Oh my god.
So, I was stuck at my house in bed, and she always knew where I was, and she could always just come and be there.
Yeah.
And that got weird for me. And so I broke up with her, and I was like, I'm sorry, I need space, whatever. And she goes,
I don't need metaphorical space. I need literal space because my leg is broken and I need to spread out more comfortably across this bed.
And she literally looked at me and goes, no, I'm not letting you break up with me. And I was like, wait, what? And she's like, you told me that you do this, that you like after 3 months you start to freak out. And no, I'm coming over tomorrow. And she did, and I'm glad she did. I'm absolutely glad she did. Yeah. Now, the second girl that I broke up with, I kicked her the fuck out of my house. And I was such an asshole to her. I've never been an asshole to women, except for she pushed me too far. I packed all her shit and put it in her car and said, get the fuck out of my house. And she just didn't leave. And I did that twice to her.
Really?
Yeah, and then I unpacked all her shit and brought it all back in because I felt bad about it. And
okay, I'll just unpack these things then. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then she ended up breaking up with me in the end. I still say,
did you say no?
No.
You should have tried it.
It was my house, so it's like, leave. Okay, you're leaving now. I can't make you leave, but if you're leaving, I can't make you stay. You know,
interesting.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting, but. Yeah, that's a fucked up realization I'm just having on mic right now that maybe I need to change something. I had 3 beers before we got here, too, so I'm probably being a little bit more honest than I should.
Maybe, perhaps. But yeah, so ultimately, the buying of the house and being left after closing on a house has led me to the one last chance at love, Rob.
One last chance? Fuck that. The only chance you need.
That's a good way to put it. So
and honestly, I'm gonna say to our listeners and to you, and I just talked to Ryan about this, because me and Ryan have been gaming at night, and I've been staying up till like 6 a.m. just talking. We seriously start a game, and our characters are just standing there.
Oh, really?
Because we start talking about shit.
Yeah.
And you come up quite a bit where
Why?
Because he feels like he let you down.
How do you let me down?
He just feels like he hasn't been the friend to you that he should be, that he wants to be. That the amount of love that Ryan has for you is unmeasurable. It's immeasurable. It's seriously, and me too. Because when we talk about you, and I don't want to get into this too far. Just a half mass.
Half mass. I'll take that.
But. Because I've already talked about this on the show, but Ryan feels the same way, where it's like you are the blueprint of humanity for me and him.
I don't know why. I don't think I should be.
And the fact that you say that only reinforces the way that we think about it. But so when it comes to Carissa, like, we are both ecstatic.
Yeah.
That you met her.
Thank you.
That. You guys, like, I wish, like, I should have really written something so that when you guys go, if anybody wants to say anything, like, I could get up and make some, like, fucking grand speech about how Carissa is amazing and I think you guys are great together. And I really am so, like, I can't even explain how happy I am that you guys came together and you found what you needed to find, because I think that you did.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this one's going to go the long...
For sure.
And that's just, and Ryan feels the same way, and it's like, and Ryan's in a weird transitional period in his life where he's about to.
You don't want her to.
He's about to, well, she's not going to listen to this, but,
He's going to make her some mac and cheese.
He's about to
cook for the first time.
To cook for the first time. But, so it's like, he understands how special that is. And
Sure.
So just for a second, I'll get real and say, if Carissa listens to this, I'm so fucking happy that I hope that you make her as happy as she seems like.
Yeah.
Because I feel like she's good for you and you're good for her.
For sure. I would agree.
He's getting married tomorrow, people. Like,
I am.
We got we can only go so long talking about breakups and shit.
Ultimately, all the breakups, all the heartache, the depression, anxiety, and self-loathing that I felt has led me up to another chance at it.
So when you are with Carissa, do you have to? And I don't feel like you do this really at all, but me, like I change. Like, okay, sitting with you and your. Sorry, I had to burp.
You're fine.
And your dad's.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I could be myself.
Right.
Sitting with the people. God, I fucking remember Craig and Nate.
Yeah.
Those like I have to. I change who I am in front of those people.
Well, you don't have to.
But I feel like I do.
No, you don't have to.
I know you don't. I know I don't have to or whatever. Fuck that. But either way, like when you're with Carissa, do you feel like you can be yourself?
Oh, 100%.
That's all that matters, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's interesting because Jim, my dad's husband, he
who is funny as shit. I really I enjoyed hanging out with you and your dad tonight. Seriously.
He sometimes I gotta tell Jim to take a chill pill,
and I love that too.
But he even pointed out at one point, he's just like, he even said that you act differently, like you act like yourself around Carissa, and you can say like the funny, like like some of the things you say are inappropriate, but Carissa understands that you're joking and that you can say those stuffs and not have repercussions about it.
Yeah, and I will say this, like, and I'm not gonna name names, but in the past with your former people that you've been with,
yeah,
when they walk into the room, I go on edge.
Yeah.
I would get on edge based on your energy.
Yeah.
And I don't, with Carissa, I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
It's like you make a joke, I make a joke, or we're talking. And I've hung out here with Carissa by myself.
Yeah.
Like while if you're at work, and I like when I came to take Ashton to wrestling. Yeah. I got to hang out with her for a little bit without you here, or when you're putting the podcast, like doing the actual work for the podcast, and I come in here and talk. Like, I love talking to Carissa, and I love talking to you, and the fact that I can talk to both of you separately and together, it was just a whole different feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Than in the other situations that I've been in with you and women. So,
well, I mean, yeah, things were bad at that point when.
I'm going to say to the people that are listening out there, like, if you feel like there's a problem in your relationship, there's probably a problem.
Yeah.
Because and
if you try to address it, and
if your friends are if your friends are bringing it up, then you need to address it.
Tried.
I've had this is something that's interesting to me. And this has happened in the last 2 weeks. The most recent one. 2 women in my life have told me that they're going to marry somebody that repulses them.
Really?
And that's so insane to me. Why would you?
Yeah. Why would you do that?
If you actually know that in your brain and you're listening to this podcast right now and the person that you're with repulses you, fucking leave. The world will not end.
Right.
And that's what I told them too.
Yeah.
Like, how could you, it's like, you have to be.
Because you feel it's right?
Yeah.
Like, you feel like that's what
you're supposed to do.
Right.
Like, what people expect of you. Fuck those people.
I agree.
It's like, but yeah, that really, like, I think it was like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago or something that somebody told me that for the second time I heard it.
I know about the first one.
Yeah, and that happened again with somebody in Rhode Island that I talked to.
Okay.
And she was like, "Oh, but I'll marry him just because he's here, and there's no good guys out there." And
It's
it's like,
insane.
that's fucking stupid.
I agree.
Have you lost all hope in everything?
Some people, man, like they just feel like unfortunately, I think they feel like there's nothing else, and that this is the path they're supposed to take, and this is what people want them to do, so they feel obligated to do it, and they do.
Well, and but that's how you feel about a job.
Oh, for sure.
You know, it's like that's how I felt when I was at Merck or whatever, where it was like, should I not have said that?
I don't work there anymore.
I don't care. But where it was like, oh, this is a great job. That's a great. Like when I would tell people I worked at Merck for 9 years, they would be impressed by it.
Really?
And it's like, don't be impressed by the fact that I kept a job at a place that you don't have to work hard to keep your job. Like that's not impressive.
Yeah. I mean, some people like same thing. With like a working relationship, it's just like, oh, I've been here 30 years, and like that should mean something. I'm just like, it doesn't.
It means one thing. It means okay,
you
will
longevity.
have you'll have money when you retire, and you're a loyal employee. But that says something about you too, and it's not necessarily positive. It's like, what were your dreams in life?
Right.
And I say that as somebody who never allowed myself to dream about things in terms of like a career for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But am now going down to am leaving the state to try and do something that I'm interested in. I might fail miserably. I might be a fucking hack for all I know, but at least I'll have tried.
Right.
I can always fall back on machining or forklift driving or fucking maintenance.
Right.
But to me, what's hard is taking the initiative. I mean, it's the same thing with you going to college. While you're working and have a family and have dogs and are paying a mortgage, like you could easily just stay at your job, work your way up the ladder, and pay your bills.
Right.
But obviously, that's not fulfilling to you.
Right.
And it takes a certain type of person to, look inward and say, no, I want more. And
I'm going to college again.
Yeah, again. And sorry, I didn't give you enough credit. But it's like
I already have my bachelor's degree.
And that's
okay.
And that's the thing. Like personally, I'll probably go down to Georgia and fail miserably. I probably will.
I don't think you will. I think you might do well.
It all depends on me, honestly. It all depends on how willing I am to put myself out there.
I'll write jokes and you can perform them.
I'm telling you, man, honestly, if something happens down there, I've already made this decision. I'm going to put this on Mike. You will be a consultant.
Yeah.
In my opinion, for me, I really wish that me and you would be. I wish you had the time for us to sit down and take even an hour a day to work on some of the shit. There's shit that we haven't talked about on mic.
Mm-hmm.
Ideas for scripts or for plays or for whatever that I feel like me and you would complement each other well in terms of I have these ideas for things, but I don't know how to get them started. I've seen what you do in terms of just getting it on paper and making it work.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it.
Yeah.
And it's to me, that's the hardest part. It's I can storyboard the shit out of a fucking idea, but I can't write beyond that. And that's the thing I need to work on.
Yeah, for sure. The one idea that I really want to work on, well, actually there's two. I do want to work on #hashtag horror flick. I think that'd be so fun. And then I don't know if you remember that play idea that I had about the people being pregnant,
oh yeah, man, I totally forgot about that.
with you remember, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, about the parents and then they're
the parents, yeah. Where instead of a young person telling their parents I'm pregnant at 16, it's a 50-year-old telling their kids that they're pregnant, and it's the same stigma attached to it.
Yeah.
Only because they're too old. I think
and that's
funny.
And that's the thing. Good stories like that, they have this commentary on shit that's actually happening. And I've come up with 3 ideas in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
that I really think have a underlying
I like the pyramid one.
message.
That's
of like
funny.
of there's like an idea of what is this, what is that. They're big. They ask questions they're subtly ask questions that people should be asking themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like you're only going to see that if you ask those questions. You know, it's like they might not be good to people that don't think about things, but people who think about things, I think, will get what the message is.
Yeah.
And I will say this too. I shouldn't say this on mic, but I smoked weed the other day, and I watched.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did. Because I had really bad
Do
anxiety.
you want me to edit that?
No, don't edit it out.
Okay.
I don't care. It's not something I do normally. I haven't done it in I don't even know how long. It's
before my bachelor party.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So that's twice in the last year. But it's like I had really bad anxiety.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I thought that would be a good idea, because normally that gives me more anxiety. But
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
what's that? I know you wouldn't know. But either way, I watched Psych. You ever watch that show?
I've briefly seen it. I interviewed a dude when I was in radio that was on that show. I don't know who he was though. I don't know. It was the dude's dad.
Bernstein?
Yeah,
You interviewed Bernstein?
I think so.
And you remember him from Psych, not like Law and Order or whatever?
He was on Psych though, right?
Yeah, but he was on L.A. Law. That's what it was.
Was he really?
When he was a younger guy, he was on L.A.
He's
Law.
promoting the Psych movie.
I didn't even know there was a Psych movie.
I think there's 2 now.
Damn.
But yeah, he was promoting that, and
But I just want to say, Psych is a funny, good, decent show
Sure.
when you watch it. When I feel like this is the second time in my life that I watched it after smoking weed. Terrible. It's terrible when you smoke weed. You see it as if you're watching it through. Like, you seriously can see every cut, like it's like you're sitting behind.
You're like so critical.
I don't know. And Trevor said the same thing. We were talking about it where it was like, he was like, dude, I can see as if I'm directing it like it's like I'm sitting looking at it through a camera monitor instead of my TV. It doesn't cut well together. It makes the cuts make no sense. They're too quick. It's insane. Like if you want to do an experiment and you are if you're in Amsterdam, watch it sober, watch it high. It's terrible high. It's okay sober.
That's funny.
But that's just,
It's like Psych, he's just like super observant.
Yeah.
Like he just pretends like he's psychic.
He acts
but
like
it's
he's
really-
psychic, but he's actually just a great detective. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a great concept for a show.
Yeah.
And you call your agency Psych, and then your sidekick goes, you're calling your fake agency Psych? As if, like
Psych?
as in Psych, I fooled you?
Yeah.
No,
that's
as in
deep.
psychic. They
like-
address it, you know. I do like the show, but man, I'm
Only
sorry.
when you're sober.
Whoever directed it. When you're high, you're directing sucks asshole. Like, it's crazy. I've never.
Maybe they need to direct it high.
Maybe. I don't know. It's like 70s movies kind of have the same thing for me, where it's like if I watch a 70s movie, and this is based on years ago, long time ago, my memory of like doing some kind of drug, and then
Yeah.
watching movies from the 70s, you could see way too much of the directing. Like, good directing, you never see it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm probably a bad example because I'm interested in directing. I don't want to be a director, but I'm interested in how things are directed.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fucking work. But those movies, too, it's like you can see the camera movements and you can see the shots and you can see what they decided to do. And it's like, if you can see those things, then they made the wrong decisions.
Right.
You should not be thinking about that when you watch anything.
Right.
And maybe I'm wrong because they didn't anticipate somebody taking acid or smoking weed.
Probably not.
And then watching it and going, the director sucked.
Yeah, I that probably wasn't on their.
No, it wasn't on their radar.
No, I don't think so.
What are we at time?
We're at 40 minutes or so.
Okay, I just noticed you looking.
I'm just looking to see what we're at.
Okay, that's good. So we got time.
Are you going to give a speech tomorrow?
No.
No.
If I get drunk enough.
I have to give a couple speeches. So I have to give. I'm reading.
Talk for a second.
I'm reading my vows, and then I have to. Are you refilling or what are you doing? Give me one. I have to. So we wrote our own vows, and mine. I think. It's like I want to say 90% like jokes, 10% like sentimental stuff. But I think like the sentimental stuff is within the jokes as well. Like people, it's gonna be relatable. So I hope people like it. And I also have to give a thank you speech in which I haven't like established or written yet, but I think excuse me, I can either wing it or I can just write down names and give thanks to people and stuff like that, because I do have to thank some people.
How did you write your like how would you write any of that? I'm sure with the vows you write it word for word kind of.
Well, yeah, I don't know how Carissa's are going to be, but mine so like my opening line is essentially, I've read over your terms and conditions and these are the things that I promise to do.
All right.
Like as a joke.
And
the after that is, I promise to try not to say the F word in front of your mother. Like that's what it's one of the other ones is was it like I promise to pretend that I'm listening to you while I'm playing a video game or watching TV while nodding in agreement.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's just you gotta go to the bathroom, so now I gotta talk and you whispered it into the microphone. I gotta go to the bathroom. Yeah. So stuff like that is gonna be a part of my vows, and maybe we can record it and I'll plug it in here, or on the next episode I'll potentially read them. We'll see. I'm gonna take a little sip here. One thing I've noticed about weddings, though, super sexist. Do you agree? Because it's like, the groom wants to be told that he's pretty sometimes too. It's all I've heard for the next few weeks is, oh, you're gonna look so beautiful, Carissa, and she's gonna look beautiful. She is beautiful, and it's gonna be, oh, you're gonna look so great. It's gonna be fun. Well, what about me? Darn it, I want to be told that I'm pretty too every once in a while. Is that a crime? Is that a sin? I don't get it. Yeah. Here's another joke in my stand-up act. Here we go. This is something that I thought of the other day. It goes something like this. The format changes, but the excuses never change, Rob. Back in the day, our parents are like, "Oh yeah, I read Playboy for the articles." That's like when I got questioned about my browser history, it's like, oh yeah, I'm on Pornhub for the comments. I feel like that's a good joke.
I really like that joke. I do.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, Rob. The comments on Pornhub can be pretty funny. Pretty funny stuff.
I'll have to take your word on that, because I go to Pornhub for the anal.
That's great. See, this is why we need to do like a. That could be it. Like if we're doing like we're doing a stand-up set together where we're like where it's a team effort.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
It's misdirection.
I mean, we just need Unfortunately, we just don't live in the town for stand-up.
We don't.
We really don't.
And if we were diehard stand-up wannabe like people, we would go to where the stand-up is.
Well, it's
But
just not
I'm going to
happening right
Atlanta,
now.
you know, and I think I'm going to do stand-up in Atlanta.
I'll go down there one time. I'll go down there with you sometimes.
Dude, I would love to do just that, what we just did, which I don't know. You told me that joke a while, maybe a week ago or something like that, and I laughed my ass off. I really did. So maybe that's how.
I feel like it's a good joke
Yeah, I think it is a good joke
because it's
but yeah,
topical.
I can't. I don't know what to say anymore. I don't. I can't believe I just said that on mic.
Well, was it true or is it just feeding to the
No,
joke?
anal disgusts me. It
Really?
Yeah, I don't
Why?
get the idea of anal.
Oh, okay.
I
mean, we don't have to talk about it too much.
I don't care. I'll talk about it.
I really don't want to.
I disgust is a strong word because I don't judge anybody that's into anal. Me personally, I don't need to see. I don't need to see an asshole, whether in any situation.
If you're a future potential employer, just know I'm not saying this stuff.
Yeah, this is Robert.
Yeah. Oh, Robert. Have you thought of any jokes recently?
Oh man, I have, but as you were telling that joke, I was trying to think of some of the jokes that I came up with recently, but
it's hard to think of sometimes.
like off the top of my head, I don't have anything. I honestly, what's weird is like I don't know when you think of stuff, but for me, it's when I'm like laying down trying to sleep.
Yeah.
And for me, more lately, it's been. This sounds so. I don't know if this is my upbringing or my friend group when I was a younger person, but I've been thinking more in terms of poetry. Like when I go to sleep, like I come up with these ideas like that are poems, and I don't consider myself a poet in any way, shape, or form. But that's it, like sometimes it comes like sometimes like when I'm trying to go to sleep, I will be thinking about shit that I have to write down or I will not be able to go to sleep.
At work a lot, just to kind of like more or less numb the time, I guess you could say. Like I either like just kind of play songs in my head, and like kind of sing to myself under my breath, or I'll create my own songs.
Yeah.
And recently, I have a song, and it'd be like kind of like a pop punk song, and it's about hermit crabs.
All right.
But you don't know it's about hermit crabs until the end of the song.
All right.
And then like like the kind of like the chorus, it goes, this song's about my crabs, my crabs, my crabs, my crabs. Like, so you think, you think it's like about crabs,
Yeah.
but it's about hermit crabs.
Nice.
Like, and then like one of the verses, it goes like, what does it go? Shit, I can't think of it. It's like sometimes sometimes they give me a pinch and irritate my skin. Like a hermit crab. You're holding a hermit crab and it pinches your skin.
See, I like that kind of stuff personally.
And then the chorus is like,
that's like that.
the song's about my crabs, my crabs. And then at the end, it'd be like my fucking hermit crabs or something like that.
And that's like that hamster joke.
Yeah.
Except for I will say this, corrections. We'll do a quick correction. I fucked up both. I fucked both of the jokes up. Both the bad jokes are bad beers. I fucked both of them up. So if you notice that, good for you. I got nothing more for you, but I noticed it too. You're not allowed to say a guy walks into a doctor's office when it's going to be a hamster in the end. A male walks in, but then you blow the end of the joke if you say a male walks into a
That's
doctor's
true.
office.
But this isn't.
But
a bad
that's
beer.
why it was a stupid joke.
This isn't a bad beer though. It is good.
Are we at the end now? We got to start critiquing the beer.
I think so.
That kind of sucks. I'm having fun with
You
this
want?
episode.
You want to talk more?
I do.
We
We could do. You want to do a long one this week?
I don't care.
Does it cost more?
No. It. I mean,
This is me. I'm pretty. I'm getting buzzed right now, people.
are you gonna sleep on the couch?
Maybe.
You probably should.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. This. I mean, like I said, this is really like your old school drinking beer. Like kind of.
It is really insane how like when you said that as soon as you said that I was like that's the like thought that I was like trying to
Convey.
put together in my
Yeah.
head where it's like because and I don't know if maybe you caused that's where the brain is weird where it's like as soon as you said that it really I took a drink of it and thought the way that you were thinking and it took me back to the Oshkosh parties that I used to go to.
Yeah. I never went to too many Oshkosh parties. The most times I went out in Oshkosh was with Josh, who we saw tonight. And
Yeah.
I hope he's
I heard you ask him if he was coming over.
I don't think he is.
I don't think he is either,
No,
but you did ask him.
Yeah. But
Original co-host. I took his job,
kinda, yeah.
and he hates me for it.
No, he doesn't.
He should.
Well, I mean, to be fair, there was like, I don't know, 20, 30 episodes where
There was no
me.
co-host, yeah.
Yeah, it was
which
just
I don't
me.
know how you did that, but
we just found people to talk to. It is nice to have a co-host. Josh is funny.
Josh is a good dude.
I agree. He says
There was a time when I had mixed feelings about Josh.
yeah,
Um,
just because of the skateboarding stuff.
it might have been jealousy more than anything. It
Yeah,
really
I
might
think
have
it
been.
was. I think it
He
was.
was so good at skateboarding, and I was. I wanted to be so good.
You were good at skateboarding. You still are.
I fool this. Okay, this is the misconception of my life. What you just brought up. I fool people into thinking I'm intelligent. I fool people into thinking I'm good at skateboarding. I fool people into a lot of things. I am none of those things.
Why?
Because I didn't have the tricks. I could jump off big shit, so people thought I was a good skateboarder. You only need to know how to ollie to jump off big shit, or backside 180, or nollie 180, or whatever. I only knew 180 tricks. There were no flip tricks.
That's more than I can do. You can do flip tricks?
I mean, I could, but I wasn't flip tricking off of shit over the size of my head. I was 180ing off of like shit, or nollieing or faking off of or switch ollieing off shit that was over my head. That made me seem like a good skateboarder. Just like in terms of intelligence, I was just talking to Ryan about this. Ryan will go and research things. When I talk to him about things that I just sit in my room by myself and think about,
Or watch a documentary on?
yeah, or watch a documentary on. But for the most part, honestly, I haven't been watching a lot of documentaries lately.
Why not?
Because I've honestly realized
You've watched
that
them all?
yeah, I've realized that I've watched every single documentary on the planet. It's like I don't think I want to learn anymore. It only creates anxiety for me. The more you think, the further you grasp out, or the further you can see out into the world, the more shit there is to think about and to fuck with your head. And it's like I take those little tidbits from an hour or 2 hour documentary and I turn it into a lifetime of anxiety, and just like thinking about it from this perspective and this perspective and that perspective and okay, what about this and what about that? And so it's like Ryan can go, oh, well, this guy wrote this paper and he knows the name of the paper that was published about it, and he's so fucking smart when it comes to what other people have done. And which is one thing in and of itself, and it makes him more intelligent, and he's more intelligent than me by far. But he thinks I'm intelligent, and I can't get behind that notion. I can't. It's like I can think about things as much as I want to. I don't know anything. And I don't think anybody does. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I can say my brother's more intelligent than me if I really truly believe that none of us knew anything. Like, the only thing that we know is that we know nothing. That puts us all at the same level, and we should be equal. But so I'm a hypocrite. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm a drunk hypocrite right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm that smart.
I think you're one of the greatest humans on the planet.
I don't know why, but
Fuck that, dude.
I'm good at playing the weakest link. I know a lot of those answers.
That's why.
Yeah.
You just pinpointed because Drew is the greatest human because he's good at playing the weakest link.
I do know a lot of the answers.
But no, in terms of the way you think about life, I do think that
I have a negative outlook.
Well, that's true, and I wish that would go away. But like me and Ryan just talk about this quite a bit in the last few weeks, where it's like, when I started doing the podcast with you, you changed the way that I thought about the world and about life.
Why?
Because you have ambition.
I guess.
And you know, it's like the things that you want to do, you fucking do them, and that's
not always.
Not always, but no one does it always. I mean, I'm sure, and I know that like okay, if this is 10 years later and it's your kids listening to it, I'm sorry for this, but it's like if I had kids, I'm sure there's a moment in time where I would go, I wish I could leave my kids behind and just go be a human being and do what I want to do.
Sure.
And some people do that, and it's a fucking asshole move.
I agree.
And the fact that you didn't that you don't do that, even though I'm sure you've had that thought, just as every parent has, that's just one more reason why you're the greatest human I know.
I don't know that I've ever had that thought. I love my kids too much.
I know you love your kids. I feel like every parent at some point goes, I could leave them in a parking lot. Maybe I'm wrong about that because I'm not a parent.
I've had conversations with people where it's like, you know, and some people like I guess have troubles with it, but I go, you know, I can give you a million reasons not to have kids because like I get it.
Yeah.
I get not having like the appeal of not having children. I really do. If I didn't have kids, I wouldn't be where I am right now.
You could come to Georgia with me.
You're right. Right. I could do whatever I want. But, you know, I never, you know, neither of my kids were necessarily planned or they're both were pretty,
let's say they weren't planned.
They weren't. They were pleasant surprises. And, you know, I would never change it. I love
the thing,
my kids so much, and like they're ultimately the reason like why I do things is because I want to give my kids every opportunity that I possibly can, and I want to give them a better life than I had, and I think that's every parent's goal ultimately, and it's you know.
I think that's 99% of parents' goals. I've seen parents that don't have that goal for their kids. But I will say this, like where it's like having kids is not logical.
Right.
If you think logically, it makes no sense to have kids.
Yeah.
Unless you care about a legacy. It's an emotional decision. And I can say that not as a parent, but as a person, as a human being who like is at a point in his life where, and I'm being 100% honest here, when I see a fucking commercial where a child is reunited with his father,
yeah,
I fucking cry.
Yeah.
It touches something in me that is not there and should not be there. But it's emotional, you know. It's like
for sure.
Any movie, any TV show where like a kid is ripped away from their parent or reunited with their parent, I tear up so much.
I've never cried over a TV show or a movie.
I never used to. This is a new thing for me. How old are you?
30.
You're 30. Wait till you're 33. I don't know. You know? Well, you've got kids, so you don't have to like think about that. But for me, like in the back of my head, and because I've seriously sat there and gone like, I've turned the TV off because of it. because I start fucking tearing up, and I have no control over this. And I've turned the TV off and thought about, like, because unfortunately I'm the type of person that needs to get to the bottom of things. And I go, why the fuck are you crying right now, you fucking bitch? and the response that comes back from the subconscious part of my brain is because you're a human being and you have emotion and you should fucking want a kid. You should want to have a child. That's what life is about. Is continuation.
Maybe.
And that's the thing. The logical part of my brain says maybe, but what if it's about self-fulfillment? What if it's about happiness?
Yeah.
What if it's about a higher way of thinking, an enlightenment? But the emotional part of me goes, it kicks the logical part of me in the balls and says, no, it's about fucking continuation of life. And you want a child.
Maybe. I don't know.
I've had this discussion in my head a fucking 100,000 times where it's like, it's insane to me that I could cry over a commercial, but I've done it.
Carissa wants me to cry tomorrow.
That's funny to me that your fiance would say, you better fucking cry tomorrow at our wedding. If you don't cry, I don't say I do.
I probably won't.
I'm worried about laughing when I walk past you to get in line.
You laughed at the rehearsal.
I did.
Both times.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do.
You just look at me and chuckle.
I'm hoping that being in a tux will make me realize how serious it is.
Everyone else gives me a hug.
Did people give you a hug? Because
people gave me a hug.
I was so focused on. I was so focused on
timing.
I was so focused on how my steps were that I didn't even watch what other people did, and that's why you said you're not even going to give me a hug. I didn't even put that together until just now.
Yeah, you just looked at me and laughed, and then you get maligned like this poor sap.
So 2 people came before me, and they walked up, and they separated from the person they were walking with, and they gave you a hug. The third person walked up, who is me.
Pinched my butt too,
and I fucking laughed in your face,
laughed at me,
and then walked past you.
Yes, that's what you did. So hopefully that doesn't happen tomorrow. And if it does, it does.
It won't tomorrow, I promise.
You'll give me a hug?
So I'll give you a hug.
Will you pinch my butt?
I will pinch your butt. I will not only pinch your butt, I will slap and grab your butt. Full fisted.
I mean, just watch the fingers and where they go. But
I'll watch.
All right. Well, Rob.
Okay, that's got to be.
We probably should go to bed, huh?
Yeah.
We drank 1869 from Fifth Ward Brewing, a blonde ale, absolutely delicious. It really
went down good.
If you're ever in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, stop at Fifth Ward. It's a great brewery. It's a lot of fun, and honestly, it's gonna make you reminisce about some previous encounters that you've had. So yeah, we gotta go to bed. I'm getting married tomorrow, which is it's a
big day.
Which is crazy. Did you drop something?
My glasses lens.
Oh my god! Your glasses. How'd your glasses lens fall out?
Because it was already broken. All right, I found it. I don't have insurance, dude. I fix it myself.
God. 1869, Rob, do you...
I drink it. I drank much of it.
You can only see on the left and the right side. Put your fucking lens in.
I'll fix this shit.
God. What if you come up to me tomorrow, give me a hug, and your lens pops out?
Don't get too close to my face. Just don't get close.
Oh shit! All right, well, hang out with us on Twitter at dudes on the porch. Email us at dudesonaporch@gmail.com. Follow us on Untapped Dudes with Brews. And Facebook, dudeswithbrews.porch.com. Or wait, no. What the fuck? Anyways. Yeah.
That's all I got.
If you think we're tipsy now, just wait till tomorrow. We have a minimum to maintain. And
If I can get around you and your dad's, the beer will go down smooth. I think beer tastes differently when I'm around people that I like.
good company.
Yeah, really, I do think that's true.
They see some outrageous stuff. But yeah, we drank it. We're happy. We'll see you all next time. And I'll be a quote-unquote an honest man.
Yeah, he'll be Mr. Drew Glazier next time you
You're
talk
right.
to him.
I'll be the same guy.
Yeah.
I'll be the same person that you've always known. So, toodles.
Pew pew! Audio. Goodbye, everyone.